Hey friends of the Review Loft, I just finished a book that honestly I think everybody needs to read this year. And it's called Nocte by Courtney Cole. It has a beautiful cover. I was one of those really silly people who passed it up and decided not to read it until just last weekend. Don't ask me why. I wish I would have read it when it came out with all of my book friends. Nocte is this story about a girl, her name's Kala, and she is just consumed with guilt. I don't want to talk about why, because I think that's one of those things about the story that's best that you go into blind. But Nocte combines this aspect of, I don't know, I want to say psychological thriller. To me, that's what it was like, to be honest with you. And it has this aspect of romance in it too. And, you know, they kind of play off of each other in a sense, but for a good portion of the book, I didn't really feel the romance. And then all of a sudden this transition takes place and it becomes this profound love story. Courtney did an amazing job of, you know, creating an environment where as a reader, I was definitely living in the world that Kala was living in. I wasn't Kala because you can feel Kala's guilt at the very beginning of the story. And to be honest with you, I didn't want to handle that. I didn't want to be living that as a reader. I prefer rainbows and butterflies. So, you know, I was kind of like, I'm not going to be Kala, but I'm still going to read this story. Well, I feel like the joke is kind of on me because Courtney, the way that she tells the story, you can't help but all of a sudden be living with Kala. And you know, no, I didn't allow myself to be Kala, but I was definitely living in the environment that she lives in. And just to give you a sneak peek into that environment, it's basically her house is a funeral home. The funeral home's on the first floor and the rest of the family lives above the funeral home. And she lives on a cliff. And, you know, in like an area that doesn't have a lot of people, they have to go like down a really, really long hill to hit civilization. So yeah, exactly. This book is unique, it's fresh, one that you do not want to miss. I promise you that. Go pick up Nocte as soon as you can. Do not miss this very unique story. Once you read it, come back over to the Review Loft. Please let me know what you think of it because this is one of those books that you can chat about for hours with the twists and turns that take place during this story. So just kind of sit back and be ready for your mind to be blown because that is what's going to happen to you with Nocte.